Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. How one key moment in Heartstopper sparked a debate about compulsory heterosexuality. Heartstopper is a series awash with queer awakenings and journeys of every color. But one brief moment has particularly resonated with queer women around the impact of compulsory heterosexuality. Coined by lesbian feminist Adrienne Rich in the 1980s, compulsory heterosexuality, or comfort as it is also known, is the idea that a woman is automatically assumed to be heterosexual, and thus heterosexuality is enforced upon them by a patriarchal, heteronormative society. Being straight is not any more natural than being gay, bisexual, or anything else, but it is imposed on women, which results in queer women, possibly unconsciously, performing straightness to the detriment of their own happiness. This performance can include feeling compelled to date men, pretending to crush on male celebrities, pushing away all queer feelings, positioning themselves as a straight ally, and dressing and acting in a certain way, or not in a certain way. Subsequently, queer women are forced to wrestle with their true selves, unlearn and scrutinize what they have been taught to want, sexual and romantic relationships with men, and explore what they actually want, sexual and romantic relationships with women. Following the Season 2 finale of Heartstopper, fans are convinced that hyper-femme, self-proclaimed ally Imogen Heaney is actually queer and undergoing a sapphic awakening after a lifetime of conflict. Fans were sent into a frenzy by Imogen, giving a more than friendly, longing glance at her guitar-playing childhood pal Sahar at the school prom, who just happens to be bisexual. Viewers were quick to point out the rather unheterosexual moment, which is tinged by lesbian flag-colored lighting, could be a hint at a potential Season 3 plot in which Imogen realizes she likes her childhood friend. I believed Imogen was a lesbian from Season 1, the fan wrote. Then there's Sahar. We learned that they used to be friends, but then Imogen got a boyfriend and suddenly stopped texting Sahar. A gay story as old as time, if you ask me. Imogen and her relationships with boys have always been written in a way that feels a lot like compulsory heterosexuality, and there are many parallels between her and Nick that suggest they might be experiencing a similar journey of discovery. Another fan said, Imogen and Sahar getting their childhood best friends to lovers arc is something I want to see. The evidence of Imogen's queerness was arguably there from Season 1, but hidden by the compulsions of conflict in the way she navigates her relationships with boys. She told an already smitten Charlie that he should go out with Nick because they have been friends for so long and hang out every morning. She doesn't mention that she was attracted to him. This is language she echoes the following season when she says about Ben. I've known him since primary school as a key reason for being in a relationship with him. Notably, when asked by Elle if she even likes Ben, Imogen stays quiet before changing the subject entirely. Commenting on this, journalist Keisha Ainsworth tells PIN News that in her experience, conflict, described as straight until proven gay, is compounded by how society talks about relationships between men and women. When I was growing up, the conversation was always, can men and women ever truly just be friends? And these kinds of things always made you feel as though your purpose in relationships with men was always to try to date them, Ainsworth says. A lot of times the men themselves were also trying to date you and you find out after the fact, which made it feel like the whole overturn of your existence was to find and date men. You just kind of fall into the trap of doing that, and you don't ever actually ask yourself if you're happy doing it. Adds that the way in which heterosexual culture frames relationships, where women are often seen to be complaining about their less than adequate male partners, made feeling miserable in a straight union seem normal. This also reflects an element of Imogen's relationship with Ben in Heartstopper, where he is continually unpleasant to her, horrible in Elle's words, but she appears to put up with it because he is her boyfriend. It makes you not question the fact that you're not having a great time because so many other women who are straight don't seem to be having a great time either, she says. For many femme queer women, conflict makes realizing they are not straight a minefield of confusion, particularly because society pushes the idea that women attracted to other women look and act a certain way, and femmes, such as Imogen, do not match that. Soraya Haddad, a PhD researcher at the University of Birmingham's Shakespeare Institute, explains that she did not realize she was a lesbian because her clothing style always fell onto the very feminine side of the spectrum. My closet put me further into the closet, Haddad tells PIN News. I can't speak to others' experiences, but I can't help but wonder if I wasn't alone in feeling that I couldn't be fully gay, because my wardrobe consisted mostly of skirts and dresses, and I grew up standing unicorns and shunning dinosaurs. She grew up seeing stereotypical representations of lesbians as women with short hair who love sports, beer, and wouldn't be caught dead in anything frilly things to which she could not relate. Growing up with an affinity to all things girly, in a world which has historically reduced sapphism to a strict set of hyper-masculine norms, can add a different kind of hurdle to feeling valid within your own sexuality, Haddad says. Similarly, Rebecca Milsom, an ambassador for the young LGBT+ people's charity, Just Like Us, who describes herself as a femme-bisexual, says coming to terms with her sexuality was confusing because she was always very feminine, and society equates that with straightness. When you are stereotypically a girly girl, society's already telling you girls like pink, girls like Barbie, girls like men. So, when I was questioning whether I just like men or do I also fancy women or anyone else of any other gender, I've got society telling me, well, you fit into all these other boxes. You must fit into the I like men category and you're straight. Milsom came out as bisexual in her teens, but says she quickly went back into the closet until her 20s because people questioned and dismissed her sexuality, saying she didn't look as if she could be attracted to women. For both Haddad and Milsom, Imogen Heaney could have been a game changer in terms of representation in their younger years. Only in my 20s have I started to see more queer femme representation in the media, at least ones who aren't designed for the male gaze, Haddad says. If I had seen characters like Max and Ginny in Georgia and Kitty in XO, Kitty, while growing up, I am certain I would have clocked my own sexuality sooner. Milsom added, having someone you can see on the screen and think, oh, they're like me and they are LGBT+. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.